Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield ship review. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Kepler S. Now, originally I did a review on this back probably a couple of weeks ago at this point. It was one of my first reviews. But in that video, I basically didn't know as much as I do now, and I also didn't do like a breakdown. So yeah, so I'm gonna just kind of redoing it, just to kind of add some extra flair to it, and also kind of do the breakdown mainly. So yeah, so the Kepler S is a reward you get for completing the quest line, or a specific quest from Walter. So after you complete the main quest where you go to Neon with Walter, if you go back to him, he'll basically give you a mission. He'll tell you about how like his R&D team at his star yard are having problems making a ship. And you go there and help them, and eventually there's two ways you can go about it. When you talk to the woman who's in charge, she'll ask you what sort of budget you want to use, like bare minimum budget or all but the kitchen sink budget. You get this ship if you do the bare minimum budget, which, from a gameplay point of view, the other budget is better because you get a more expensive ship that you can basically tear down and make something cooler. But the Kepler S is just, as you can see, it's just it looks a lot nicer. But yeah, so stat-wise, it's got a fuel of 400, which is quite good. Anything above 200 is very nice to have. It's got a hull of 689, which is kind of low, but not too bad. It's got a cargo capacity of 3200, which is really, really good. Like, I'm wondering where the cargo is coming from, because that's a lot of cargo. Where is the cargo coming from? Am I blind? Okay, so we'll have to do a teardown and see where the cargo is in a minute. I don't currently see where any of the cargo would be. Interesting. So it's got a B-class reactor with 18 power. That's very low. That's like lower than most A-class vessels. Now, obviously, it kind of makes sense that they're, hit by a budget, but come on now. It's got only a crew of 3, which you could improve if you want to by adding a crew station, but you don't have to. Jump range of 27 light years, which is quite good. Probably one of the better features. And then shield is very low at 570. We definitely will work on improving that. Now, it doesn't come with any weapons, but we can remedy that. So as always, I always sell my ships beforehand, so you can't buy this ship. I'm just, buying it because I sell it to see the stats without modifications. So we're going to purchase it. Look at it. So yeah, here it is here. I will say, it's a very, very cool looking ship. Very, very cool looking ship. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Normandy from Mass Effect. It kind of has that like, that just kind of vibe to it with like the nacelles and the engines. It's got little wingtips as well, which are really, really nice. But yeah, let's go check it out. Interior. So I'm assuming it has it doesn't have a Stroud Eklund entryway. Entry through the back. Ooh. That's a Tayo entryway. Stroud, you sneaky boys. So entryway in the back. This is a Tayo entry bay with a door. I'll do that. So immediately we have a 1x1 storage room. Stroud Eklund, I believe. And then we have, this is an all-in-one berth. We've got some beds here. We've got the couch. Got a little table. Another table here. We have a galley that works, but you just have to kind of click the sink. And then we've got more storage there. Oh, we got a medkit. Nothing in it, though. And then this ship will probably it'll become decorated. When I sell my ships, it kind of reverts, like stores all the stuff in it. Yeah, so we come up here. We have another 1x1 storage room. And then off to the side, we have... What are you doing in my room? This is the captain's quarters. You're not the captain. Alright, yeah, well, Cora's taking my role today, apparently. So we got a captain's quarters. We've got the navigation console. I'm gonna have to walk past her. We got...
Hello there.
Hi. We've got the chair here for a little office. You got this little... That's the lunar lander there, which is kind of cool. And then we've got a very uncomfortable bed. Stroud, you need to work on your beds. And then we have a little room, or a little seating area for if you want to have a meeting with your crew. Then we have a little bathroom here, not too bad. And we go across the other side here. We have another all-in-one berth. Is this an all-in-one berth? I think this might be an all-in-one berth B. I don't see any beds. A lot of chairs, though. We'll do a teardown at the end so we know exactly. We got couch. Another galley. Kind of a bit overkill, but you know, it is what it is. And then over here we have... I believe this is the Stroud Eklund crew control station. Interesting. Got some room, ample room for your crew, and then the bridge is behind there. We'll get to that in a minute. And then we go up one more level. And we have, this is just a 1x1 with the docking room up there. Whoops. Alright, so let's check out the bridge. So this is one of the nicest looking interior bridges in the game. It's got a lot of ample room for your crew. So you've got your pilot seat there. You've got a co-pilot seat to your left here with a lot of terminals. Your navigator to the right with a lot more terminals. And then we have like two, we can say like weapon officers or just kind of like just general crewmates. We're going to take it off, see how she performs. Obviously no weapons, so we're probably going to have a lot of power to play around with. But when we do the teardown, we'll work on the weapons. A very cool looking ship though. Like this is probably one of the nicest or nicer looking ships in the game. I still don't understand where the storage is going to be. Like I don't see where it would be. So yeah, so as always I have perks that increases my power by 5, so for the sake of this video we're going to not be using power. That 5. So, speed test. Speed of 140, it looks like it's going to cap out at, yeah, about 140. Boost speed of 500, which isn't bad. I'll do a quick agility test, pitch up. Oh. Agility's not amazing, it's kind of slow, it's like a 4 or a 5, that's not very nice. And then, yaw. Yaw's a little bit faster. It's like maybe a 6. And then the roll looks, it's very cool looking shit. Alright, so we're gonna head back down to the planet and do a teardown. Alright, so we've got the ship split into 3 sections. I found the storage, by the way, there's 2 of them there. So on the top here, the habitat modules we have is we have a Stroud storeroom 1x1, and we have a Connect Pro Docker top from Stroud Eklund. Behind it we have the RD3000 beta grav drive from Reladyne, 27 light years. That's not a bad grav drive. Now, I want to say that's probably the best grav drive we can currently get here, but there is a 4000 series. Yeah, there's a 4000 series, but I'm just not sure like where I would purchase it. That's not bad anyway. Now for the engine, or for the reactor, we have the DC-301 fast ignition reactor from Deep Core, B class, 18 power. Now this is pretty abysmal. I would recommend upgrading to the usual, where's the, give me a second. This one here, this bad boy here. If you wanted, the thing is, if you wanted to stay within like the style of this reactor, you can upgrade from the 301 to the 303. B class, again, it gives 35 power, so big jump in power. And it basically requires piloting 3, which this one requires 2, and it requires starter design 4. And it's quite expensive. It's going to be like 50k to upgrade. Now, if you want the best, this bad boy here, Dogstar, B class, 104DS, mag inertial reactor, 39 power, but it requires piloting 3 and starter design 4. It probably costs about 50-60k. Now we've got 4 of these fuels, these M30 Ulysses Helium-3 tanks from Dogstar, 100 each, so 400 altogether, which is very nice. And for the aesthetic pieces, we have this Stroud nose cap B for top, 2 of these Nova wings, and a Hope Tech aft pipe. Now in the middle of the vessel, we have the Viking CP200 cockpit from Stroud Eklund. We have the Stroud Eklund control station 2x1. We have a Stroud companionway 1x1, a Stroud captain's quarters 2x1, and Stroud living quarters 2x1. And then this is our storage here, 2 Galleon S204 cargo holds, 1480 each, so very nice. And then for our engines, we have a pair of these Nova 1050 engines from Reladyne, B class, 3 max power, 22,170 engine thrust and 4,500 maneuvering thrust. Pretty decent engines. And then we have this one in the middle, the SAE 5110 engine from Slate Aerospace, B class, 3 max power, 1,470 engine thrust and 4,400 maneuvering thrust. So it's kind of weak. But, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. Now for the structural pieces on here, we have 2 of these Stroud Cap A. We've got starboard foretop and port foretop. And then we have another, so we have 4 of these altogether. And then we have 2 of these Stroud engine mounts there and there. And then we have 2 Stroud engine bracers, A there and there. Now on the bottom of the vessel, we have the Stroud living quarters 2x1 and the Stroud storeroom 1x1. And then we have the ship bed landing bay from Tayo. Now, I would recommend swapping these around personally. I would change this to a workshop, just because workshops are very handy on your ship, and putting them close to the landing bay means that if you land on a planet and you're like, crap, I forgot to put on my scope, you can just straight back in, fix it, straight back out. And then we have, for the landing gear, we have the NG-20 landing gear wide from Nova Galactic. They give 4 lander thrust each, which is really nice. And then we have 2 more here. NG landing gear 4. Landing gear and just normal landing gear. And then we have actually 2 more. We have these AccuLander 11 landing gear, port and starboard. A lot of landing gear in this. You could definitely add some way more weight to this if you wanted to. And then for the aesthetic pieces, we have 2 more Stroud A Cap 4 bottom. We have 4 of them actually. And then we have 2 more engine mounts there and there. Right, so let's put the ship together and let's do some upgrades. So first upgrade I'm going to make is I'm going to modify the reactor. So that there. Now for the shield, we're going to go with the usual shield I would recommend, is the Vanguard one, just because it's very easy to get, doesn't require much, and it's quite cheap. Now I'm going to put that there. Now next, for the, let me see, for the engines, this engine here isn't too bad, but we want to increase the mobility a little bit. So what I might do is if we add 2 sets of them there, and we, okay, we have none of these here. We're going to try and work with it. So I'm just going to really quickly see what that would look like if I swapped. Okay. Alright, so we'll get back to the engines in a minute. Before we finish this, I'm going to probably jump to Neon and just basically modify. But we're going to do weapons real quick. We'll get to the weapons next. So we've got some potential. So we're going to go weapons. And as always, we're going to be, for our primary armament, we're going to be going with some of these Vanguard obliterators. Now we're going to mount 4 of these here on these, so 2 on each wingtip. And then can you mount one on the bottom of these? Is there a medic one on the bottom? No, there's not. Okay. That gives us 4 sets of weapons there, which is very nice. We'll make them our primary weapon. Now, usually I would say just stick with these, but I feel like with this sort of vessel, we want some missiles, just because I feel like it would be kind of nice. So we're going to go with... Where are they? I like these infiltrator missiles just because they look quite nice. And then for the hard points, where can we place them? We'll place them underneath right here, like so. Just so they're kind of hidden slightly. I feel like they look quite nice down there. Yeah, they look nice. And then we're going to put that as our second weapon. Now, what you could do, potentially, is you could add a little turret on it, which I might add a turret. So we're going to really quickly jump to Neon so I can get access to 2 pieces to make this build a little bit better. Alright, so here we are, Neon. So one thing I'd recommend doing, if you ever buy a ship and you plan on like modifying it and you want to stick to whatever the design is, so for instance, Hope Tech, I would recommend going to Hope Tech's area just so you can kind of build it better. So we're going to do, like I was saying, we're going to get some of these pieces. Now we're just going to simply duplicate them. And we're going to snap one there, and then we're going to do the same here. Now you'll notice the bottom there is a bit finicky, so we can potentially do the little duplication technique. Now you may not like it, but... So we're going to flip that like so, flip it around. And then we have that. Now, there is obviously clipping there. But actually, hold on now. We don't need to worry about clipping. If we move these forward ever so slightly like that, we can then place them without any clipping. Aha. See, I'm a genius. Didn't even mean to do that. So yeah, so that basically gives us like these 4 engines here, which I think are really, really nice. It kind of adds a little bit more thrust to the vessel. Now, for the final weaponry, I would recommend adding a turret, just because I feel like it'd be nice to have like, you know, like kind of like a gunner covering you. So we're gonna go with the... I'm gonna go with this bad boy. And then there's like a couple of locations you could potentially place it. So what I might actually recommend doing, so let's look at some of our structural pieces, see if we have anything nice. Obviously we're going to need one of these because these are literally the best piece in the game. If I could make a ship just out of one piece, it'd be that piece. What do we have? Do we have anything nice? We can snap objects to... Oh, can we flip that upside down? Why can't you flip it? Bethesda, you're so difficult. Can I? No. Whoops. We're just looking for like a piece that we could potentially... Oh. Oh, there we go. Can we like... Oh, that's the braking engine. Oh, there is a tie-up piece though. Yes, perfect. So we're going to snap that like so. There. And then... I'm going to put this here, and we're going to put our turret on the back so we have a rear like a tail gunner. Like so. What's the error? Yeah, okay. Ship needs to be assigned. There we go. And we have a little tail gunner there, which is kind of nice. Now, obviously, if you wanted to add a gun to the front, you definitely could do that. You have like a little spot there, like so. So if you wanted to like add a second, that's not a bad. We'll do that. No, not too bad, all in all. That's pretty much it. The only thing I would say, like I was saying originally, is kind of hard to see. We're just going to move this briefly. So at the back here, we have a 1x1 storeroom, and then we have this living quarters. So I'm going to pull the living quarters up a little bit, and we're going to turn it into a workshop because it's nice just having a little workshop in the bottom, like I was saying. And then we're just going to we're basically just flipping these around like so. And then put our landing pad, and we're good. Now, I don't know why it says it's red is 80 mobility, because that mobility is, like, perfectly acceptable. We could also mount the wings up more if we wanted to, potentially. But I think it looks fine as is. But yeah, that's the build of the Kepler, how I would recommend building it. Let me know what you guys think. And just in general, what do you guys think of the... Because I know when I put up the Kepler, the other Kepler, a lot of people were saying that this one is better, and most people just go with the more the more expensive version for the parts. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and check out some of my other content, and bye-bye.